Hello, my name is Scott, and in today's video I've got 5 tips for mainly beginner street photographers, but even if you do know your way about street photography, these tips may help you, so stay tuned and make sure to watch to the end. So just jumping straight into tip number 1 is make sure you fit in. So for example, any really bright coloured clothes, like a yellow jacket is quite a popular one. It quite often brings attention to you, and as a street photographer you kind of want to blend in with the crowd, and you don't want too much attention because you want to capture the moment as if you're not there, and there's like, it's just a frame from that moment and not people looking at you wondering what you're doing, kind of nosing around and stuff like that. Having a large camera and a big lens can be quite a distraction as well, which I kind of work my way around. My lenses are quite big. This is my 55 to 250mm, and that's it with the focal length fully zoomed in. So it's quite a big lens, and what I do to tackle this is I take myself away from the crowd and kind of take pictures of the crowd from a bit of a distance at a longer focal length. I find that is my preferred way of shooting street photography, with a kind of longer focal length, getting shots from a little bit away, but everyone does it differently. And kind of traditional method of street photography is to get right in people's faces, you know, meter away, 2-3 feet, whatever kind of measurements you use, like really close to people, just snapping on a wider lens. But I like to take a step back and kind of view the crowd out with. Tip number 2 is to don't over prepare. What I mean by this is like too much equipment, so you're taking a full bag, you're taking a tripod, I don't know, like change of clothes, maybe a food. So this is all good if you're going on like a long trip, but say you're going out for some street photography for a couple hours, it's a bit too much to take with you just for the short trip that you're actually going to be having. The best way of putting it is to take what you need and that you're actually going to use, which takes me on to tip number 3, is make sure you prepare enough, as well as following tip number 2 is don't over prepare. So kind of in the good spot in the middle. Make sure you dress for the weather. So here in Scotland, that means always having spare waterproofs on you, but it's December right now, coming up to Christmas when I'm shooting this video, so I would always have some gloves, hats, probably a t-shirt, hoodie and a puffy jacket, as well as warm shoes, thick socks, that kind of thing. Still on the topic of clothes, my gloves I wear is like, it's just running gloves, so I can still, you know, access my camera. It's got the touchscreen fingers in case I do need to go on my phone or something, but my camera, this Canon 600D, doesn't actually have a touchscreen, so that doesn't affect me with the camera. Mainly just my phone, which I do take photos with sometimes, but not as much as the camera. The thing is, you don't want big woolly gloves. Although they keep your hands warm, it can make it a bit difficult to actually use the camera, so I use the runner gloves. Although they don't keep my hands as warm, it's better than nothing. Tip number 4 is to just start shooting. Don't be scared. The hardest part for me anyway of doing street photography is getting in the flow and kind of getting started. So even if the shots aren't going to be amazing, aren't going to be great, probably not good enough to actually post or share or use in your portfolio, they still matter because they get the creative sparks going in your head, and they kind of propel you to get the shots that you're actually going to use and enjoy. Tip number 5 is to be ready. What I mean by this is to not just have your camera, I don't know, on your plate. You know the thing I'm on about, the thing that goes on your backpack strap and just sits there and clicks in. Don't just have your camera sitting on that the whole time or around your neck on the strap. Always have it ready, so when you know something, a good moment that you want to capture happens, you can just click, rather than trying to fiddle around and trying to, you know, get your camera up and then click, which all that movement can cause distractions, so you might scare off whatever animal you're shooting, or, you know, like wildlife, or maybe not wildlife in street photography, but more if a moment's happening and you're making all this rustling and stuff like that, all this movement, to then, you know, take the picture, it can cause more distractions and make it so not only are you losing out in time to snap that picture, but you're also kind of making movement and making people know that you're taking the picture. It sounds bad. You are allowed to take the picture, which will go into my bonus tip, but you kind of want to be sneaky in street photography sometimes, not all the time. Now, my bonus tip is to know your rights. I know in the UK, I can't speak for any other countries because the laws vary in like the US, Germany, France, whatever, wherever you're going. But I know in the UK, if you're in a public space, you have the right to take a photograph of anyone pretty much. I don't know the law, word for word in my head or anything, but I can throw up something on screen right now, a snippet thing or something I can find. But at the same time, although you're within your rights to take the photo, if someone asks you to delete it personally, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. But personally, I will probably, just do the kind thing, the polite thing, and do as they ask. If they don't want the photo taken, that's cool. I'll probably delete it. I haven't ever been actually asked to stop taking pictures of anybody, mainly because I do get a bit scared and I kind of keep my distance. But going forward, I want to challenge myself and actually, shoot in people's faces. It sounds rude, but like I want to get in the action, get out of my comfort zone and actually start shooting wider angles and kind of get myself involved in the crowd a bit more. So that will wrap up my 5 tips, or the bonus tip, of street photography. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you and goodbye. Also, I do live stream at twitch.tv/big_slinks. Play games like Fortnite, Valorant, Call of Duty, Warzone as well in the Call of Duty, but I also do graphic design as well sometimes here and there. So if you would enjoy, go watch me live play some games. The link will be here somewhere on screen. It'll also be on my pillar, as well as my Twitter, TikTok, whatever. You can see all the links over there. Thank you again and goodbye. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.